The Nerd Academy podcast is released weekly at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, available on our website at www.thenerdacademypodcast.com and wherever you listen to podcasts. You can find the Nerd Academy podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. You can also help support the show by going to patreon.com/The Nerd Academy podcast, where every donation allows us to bring you more exciting content every week.
Good morning, class, and welcome back to the #1 Contender podcast, the show where your favorite nerds talk all things movie trivia Schmoedown. I am your host, Jarod the Dark Jedi Bachman Stubbs, and joining me, as always, is Black Leader Travis Grossman.
You gave me a Harloff entrance.
I did. Same, an equal amount of sauce.
I breathed in a little bit of water soda. Key.
My longest McKee. It's like Harloff's head photoshopped onto the yeah boy. We have a great week of trivia to recap for you guys, as well as some news about how May is shaping up. First things first, should we talk about the schedule for May first, or should we talk about this week's matches?
We can talk about the schedule first.
All right. Well, looking forward to May. We have the beginning of the Star Wars tournament, which is very, very exciting. Starts
Which means next week is all Star Wars.
Star Wars and some teams.
I misread this, and I thought the top thing was Damon and Demolanta, and I was like, oh, okay. So before them is like 2 tournament matches.
Yeah.
But
So looking forward, we got May 5th. We have Adam the Razor Witt of the Dungeon going head-to-head with Zach Burkett of the Stars on May 5th, one day after Star Wars Day. Then the continuation of the teams tournament with Corruption's Deception going up against the Stars Blackjack on May 6th, followed up by the first appearance of Danger Zone. Midterms of Swag is who we're facing off against the Danger Zone.
Wait, if they don't open, like I know they can't, but they need to open with Danger Zone.
They need like a royalty-free
highway.
I'm on the parkway to a risky area. Also on May 7th. Pardon us, we're on our last couple brain cells. May 7th is going to be a pay-per-view evening. However, it is also has a to-be-determined undercard, which I'm sure we'll be finding out very soon.
For the overcard of Alex Damon and Andrew Demolanta for the Star Wars belt again.
Yes, we have Demolanta versus Damon 2 on May 7th. Very excited to see how that pans out. I want to see if Demolanta can do it a second time, man. It's going to be really interesting to see. After that, the Star Wars tournament continues with Thomas Harper of the Den going up against Eric Whiteley of the Quirky Mercs on May 12th. Then we have confirmed now Rushmore of the Finstock Exchange going head-to-head with Lightning Time of the Quirky Mercs in the teams tournament. Followed up by either Danger Zone or Midterms going up against Deception or Blackjack of the Stars on May 24th. That is followed up May 14th. Jesus Christ. Fat thumbs. I'll fix that. On May, not May 4th, on May 14th.
Remember, log isn't on.
There we go.
On May 41st.
On May. I was on the phone with Lexi while I was writing this, and I put one of them down as May 217th.
I mean,
can you tell I haven't left this room all day?
If you're going by 2020 time, that might be accurate.
Right, honestly.
We're at like March 408th or something.
Yeah.
It's not 2021.
No,
It's
yeah.
still March of 2020.
Welcome to the worst year ever. Following that on May 15th, we have Gold Leader of the Finstock Exchange going head-to-head with the usual suspects Marie Wilson in the Star Wars tournament. The May 20th, following that up, we have the finals of the teams tournament that will be going 3 rounds for 4 points, not a 5-round match, surprisingly.
I think because it's not going for it's not going straight into a title shot.
Yeah.
Right. And this isn't the teams tournament like we're used to. So
yeah. Following that on May 21st, pardon my yawning, we have Taylor Robinson of the Finstock Exchange going up against Greg Alba of the Quirky Mercs in the Innergeekdom. Then we get to May 21st, which will have an undisclosed undercard with the main event of the winner of tonight's live event. So we can say with certainty, Mark Kanopik of the Dungeon going head-to-head with Mike the Killer Kalinowski for the Innergeekdom belt.
What is this, 2018?
Right? Then when they come back the next week, we have May 26th, continuing the Star Wars tournament of Swags, Ace Cabrera, last year's Star Wars tournament winner, going toe-to-toe with Corruption's Sean Sullivan. May 27th, we'll have Jacob Wittenben of the Usual Suspects versus Mark Hayes of the Finstock Exchange, followed by the only singles match this month.
That's what we like to see.
Of Josh Horowitz of the Quirky Mercs going up against the Usual Suspects, Paul Hauser, on May 28th. And then the end of the month, we have also on May 28th as a pay-per-view, Corruption having a number 1 contender match against the winner of the teams tournament, whoever that may be, with the main event being a team's title shot between the Odd Couple, our current reigning champions from the Stars, and the Quirky Mercs Shazam. Shazam. Yes, we have a lot to look forward to this month in May, a very big month. We have 2 title shots happening in 2 concurrently running tournaments.
Well,
very exciting
3
stuff.
title shots.
3 title shots. Yes. 3 title shots, 2 tournaments. And, lots to be expected. Who knows what these undercards could be. They could round out other singles matches to get a little bit more red on our chart here.
Unless they're trying to hold off and let singles play out with Jay's matches that he talked about this week, which aren't on our list yet.
Can you run through those if you remember what they are? Because he was going really fast, and I was able to jot them all
down. The first
one
was tonight, Marisol McKee versus Videodrew. So we know that's going to be Marisol McKee. The rest of them are in June. So it'll be June, yes.
The month of June
versus Marisol McKee. Marisol McKee versus Janine the Machine.
Yes.
The winner of that will play Kevin Smith at Collision.
Oh, I'm so glad we have another Collision.
For a number 1 contender shot. Over here, Paulo Yama will play Ethan Irwin. Over here. And Ben Bateman will play Joe Roca.
Joe. You were to say Joe Rogan.
Because I almost watched a Phil DeFranco video that had Joe Rogan in the title. And that just got stuck in my head.
I love that.
John Roca will be playing Ben Bateman. The winners of those will play each other.
I am
and the winner
so
of
excited for that.
Will challenge Dan Merle at Collision. Which, thinking about, that's 4 former champions playing for a shot at the Dan Merle.
It's crazy shit, man. It's crazy shit. We got a huge couple months ahead of us. Very excited for all of it. Jumping into the week's matches, we're going to open up with Brandon Hanna versus Robert Parker. And Travis, that was a good match for you.
It sure was. Your boy, I could tell he was about to flub in the very beginning when he lost that first challenge. And he wanted the challenge because he didn't challenge the first time. Hanna did. Right? I guess so. So Hanna won his challenge. And that kind of set him on the back foot. And the next question happened. He misspelled again. He was like, no, that's actually a different word. I want to challenge. And John came in. And I think John I was skipping through it a bit, so I didn't actually hear what Kaiser said. But I think he absolutely made the right call of not challenging.
I agree.
Right? Regardless of if they would have won, taking that chance of doing it, missing the challenge, and then now that's all Parker's thinking about the rest of the match when he's getting questions right anyway. So like telling him like, hey, just focus on getting your shit right. Because like you're clearly going to outclass him in trivia, right?
How did you feel about? Because like I agreed with Roxy on the first challenge.
That felt to me like Alba.
Yeah,
that's how it felt.
And like if we're gonna allow Alba, we got to allow that.
Which I mean, no former precedent, but same thing.
How did you feel about the Tartuga one? Because while he's right about that, this is a different word in a different language.
I think it's again one of those. Just he misspelled it.
Yeah, he had grounds, but I don't think it was enough to stand on.
Yeah, he had grounds, but clearly based on what had just happened, it was very like the correct call was made, not the challenge. Because again, if he had lost that challenge, I think it would have been downhill. He would have been thinking about that the whole time. He wouldn't have been able to get a TKO like he did.
I agree with you. On that. I don't want to count Brandon Hanna out. Like I don't want to say that he didn't come to play, but I don't think he came as hard to play as Robert Parker did. Like, I think Robert Parker is earning back his "oh sweet Jesus" status.
Yeah, and
after this match,
Brandon Hanna is feeling a lot like the player who is good at taking his beats. And like, especially now, like we saw in his last match, like he never resigned himself to defeat. Like he had a moment before they went to sudden death of like, oh, okay, I'm still in this. I should get ready. Right.
Yeah.
But like, he doesn't just like kick himself, toss himself to the side, even though he clearly has a shot still in the match.
Yeah.
And I think that attitude will take him a long way. Right. We saw that. You didn't see it yet, but we saw that also with the Rushmore press room match this week, where it didn't pay off now. It'll pay off in the future if they keep that attitude going forward, right? Of, just because I'm down going into round 3, you can hit 3 categories. Like I could hit all of my shit and you're going to hit 3 categories that you know nothing about. Like you're going to hit who said it, scores and soundtracks, and mixed bag in that order and just completely get screwed over. So,
and then for good measure, you go sudden death and it'll be Festival Darlings.
Somehow an Innergeekdom, just because.
But yeah, no, I was really impressed with Robert Parker.
Could you
here.
imagine if the opposite of the Innergeekdom rule was true? Like you could bring a single slice into the Innergeekdom wheel.
Oh my god, that'd be so funny.
You have no idea the unfathomable rage I would feel, not even as a player, if the wheel popped up for Innergeekdom and it said Festival Darlings on it. I would break whatever I was watching the game on. Actually. It's not even that I'm angry that it exists. Like it's a valid category. Like it makes sense that it's there. I just hate it.
I will say, and like again, no disrespect to Robert Parker at all, but like I really did consider him a little overrated last season. Like I'm very much in the masses that he was talking shit about in his promo, where like I was not super into Robert Parker. Part of that's Dungeon, part of that's Rivals of Corruption, all that horse shit. That like I'm very rah, 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 team spirit about, but like I felt like he was given that trivia god status a little early. And Chance proved that it was a little preemptive. Robert Parker reproved that maybe not trivia
in the pan.
Yeah, maybe not trivia god quite yet, but like is definitely a killer in the ring.
Again, I think his biggest problem before was he bought into his own hype a lot, and he got to the point of missing in like when he missed, set him back far enough that Chance capitalized and was like, well, I'm not going to miss. So he's going to be thinking about that the whole time. Right. And it took him down the rest of the match. And I think that was close to happening with those challenges. And I'm glad Kaiser kind of set him straight, again, I didn't actually watch that little meeting they had. I was watching it work, or no, I wasn't watching. I was watching it at home, but I had it on like 1.5 speed just to blitz the match. And I was like skipping. I was like, okay, they're talking. I'm going to skip through this. But yeah, absolutely the right call there.
Yeah.
Parker's back. I'm happy Parker's
He
back.
is really
Shave your beard. You look weird. I love you.
That was mean.
Like I don't mean that in a bad way, but it is very strange.
I think a lot of people got used to feeling like you're 12, Mr. the Spider. I think a lot of people were like, yes, he is a child. A parent needed to sign the release for him to play, and seeing you with a beard absolutely ages him a lot. And like, because like I remember the way I remember Robert Parker is I remember like the crazy Spitfire that jumped onto a stage to like Kanye West style rip a microphone out of somebody's hand to shit talk.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember like this tiny dude in jeans and a t-shirt going full Kanye at a live event. So like seeing him with a beard and the suit, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
But I think I dig it. I think I dig it though. Yeah, I'm interested to see where this goes. I mean, we know for sure we're having Parker versus Ellison too.
Do we?
Yeah, that's his next match. He's going up against Chance again.
When was that? Is that next month? Did I miss that?
I don't know if it's next month or not. I don't think it's next month, but they said that like that's who he's up against next.
Oh, okay.
Is it like that is his next match?
Cool. I missed that somewhere then.
They said it during the match. It's not like published anywhere yet. They just mentioned it in passing.
Oh, so they said it like at the end of that match.
Yeah.
That would explain it.
They mentioned that that's who he's coming up against next is
Chance. If there was a post credits for the live event tonight, we didn't watch it.
We did not see it, no, but I'm sure we'll see it at the beginning of next week, so that's okay. Moving on to a match that only you will be talking about because I was getting ready for the interview with the usual suspects, Frank Alvarez, that will be going up on Monday. Stay tuned for that. Very nice guy. Very fun to talk to him.
Before that, Lightning Time.
Oh, that's right.
Other team. I don't remember
Lightning Time and the Outsiders.
I just keep going like, oh yeah, Ben Goddard and Paul Preston. You know, those guys.
Yeah, okay.
They should have just been called, obviously, this is the Dens team.
So I will say, and up top, congratulations to Lightning Time. Well-deserved win. Outsiders did good too. I look forward to seeing how they perform in the future. We know that Liz Shannon Miller and Ethan Irwin have known each other for a hot minute. We know that they're cool. And they have a friendly chemistry. I am not sold on their chemistry as a team yet.
I disagree. Here's why.
Okay.
I think the difference is I think they're not used to playing in team. Like even Ethan Irwin, right? Like he's not used to playing in teams that much.
Okay. So you think it's just that like the teams is still kind of foreign territory to them.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give you that. That could very well be the case.
Like, I don't think Ethan Irwin is the kind of guy who's used to taking the back seat in a round two.
Okay.
Like he did.
Okay.
Right. And that's how you play teams, right? Like you each have those categories where like, you know it so well the other person doesn't have to, and that's the point. So that really paid off for them this time. It really paid off for Rushmore this week too, right? So you don't know that, but now you do. So
yeah.
And because their communication's there, right? They talked themselves through their fight really well.
And then I think Ellis called attention to it, like Liz Shannon Miller, her confidence as a player to look at Ethan Irwin and go, no, you need to listen to me right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like kudos on that. Like again, like they did well, and I see them doing well in the future. It just they did not feel as in simpatico as a lot of their contemporaries do. And if I were like hard committed to the usual suspects the way I am to corruption, for example, I would be a little bit worried about that. I would be a little bit worried knowing that that a team like Deception is on the horizon, or that something like the Danger Zone or I almost said the Founding Fathers or like Rushmore are out there on the prowl.
Mhm.
That's where I get a little nervous, where it's like, I don't see them as well oiled a machine as
Yeah.
those other teams.
And
That's
again, I think that comes with a lack of experience in the team's division.
very well be right. You can and I look forward to seeing where that comes from. Because again, they seem very friendly with each other, and they said they're friends, and like that's awesome. And again, that's not shit talk, and I don't want to talk down any of these people. They're all incredible at what they do. I'm curious moving forward with this. What happens with the suspects?
Yeah.
Or what happens with Lightning Time? That is. The Outsiders put up a good show.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like it's not like they got railroaded. They did a good job.
Mhm.
It was a close match. What happened there.
It was very back and forth. If they hadn't guessed that 5-pointer right, we'd be talking about I almost forgot their name again, the Outsiders. So yeah, absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. They'll be back. They're another powerhouse team coming. Like Ben Goddard impressed the shit out of me last week. And
I love him.
I enjoy Paul Preston a lot too, right? Those guys are really good.
I like both of them. I think Ben Goddard is probably one of my. I think Ben Goddard is probably like in my maybe not top 10, but definitely like top 15, like of all time, like not just active right now. I really do like him a lot.
So yeah, you did not watch Rushmore v. The Press Room.
No, I was prepping and working on the May the 4th special.
I forgot it was today as well until I opened YouTube. I was like, wait, did they say that was today? Open YouTube. It's premiering right now. It's my lunch break. Okay.
I was so upset because I was rewatching Frank's match against Brother Lomas because I wanted that to be fresh while I was talking to him. And as I was pulling up the Schmoedown YouTube channel, I saw the goddamn Rushmore video was live, and I was like, I want to watch this so bad. And I was like, nope, I gotta count on Travis for this one. I'm not gonna have the time to.
I think that Rushmore is dangerous.
Doesn't surprise me at all. I'm talking about my top 10. That's in my top 3 with Roka.
Those two are, we saw them both their singles outings already. They are here to play. The chemistry they have is like, how in gym class there's like the group of kids who are like, two of them of that group will always be team captains, and for a while like Roka and JT were always captains for like never on each other's team. This is the first time that they teamed up. And like,
I love that energy.
It's like that recognition of like, yeah, we know we're top shit. And yeah, we've played a lot against each other in the past, but like, we know we're both top shit and we're going to play like top shit. And they played like top shit. An impressive TKO. They had a perfect round 2. They might've gotten the multiple choice once. I don't remember. No, they went to multiple choice once, but still, they didn't drop a question in round 2. They spun action adventure, and JTE just swept the whole category. Like,
attaboy, attaboy.
Like they spun it, and JT was like, "Roka, we're taking this, right?" And he's like, "Well, yeah, because you're going to be fine." And then they went, and Roka just sat there the whole time, just like, "Yep."
Pull the cowboy hat over his eyes.
Pretty much. He was like, he answered one of them, but like clearly the energy was like, I know JTE's got this.
Yeah, you just hand it off to the other guy and just do the work.
The press room did great. Perry had a weak round 1, and it set them up to like, they went into round 3 at a 7-point deficit.
Oh, that's never good.
Yeah. I mean, going into round 2, it was like 27-9 or something. It was rough. And I think they made some really smart plays in round 2. They only missed one, and they had a really tricky one about Into the Spider-Verse.
Do you remember what it was?
Who is the voice actor for the first Peter Parker that you meet in the film?
Chris Pine.
Correct. But they one of them got confused on the question, and they like debated it for a minute. They repeated it twice. They took their time with it, and they guessed they went with Chris Pine, and they got it right. I think because they played really aggressively. Their last question they got wrong, but they, at the point they were at, even if they missed it and they stole, there wasn't going to be a TKO. And there was no, it was a Men in Black question. So the multiple choice would have been Men in Black 1, Men in Black 2, Men in Black 3, Men in Black International.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have helped. So they guessed and got it wrong. The steal didn't happen, but they made the right calls when they needed to be made. They just didn't have it on the 5-pointer, and they'll be back, right? That kind of
There's Spider-Man question and a Men in Black question, and I missed the match. God damn it!
yeah, they spun comic book movies.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. They will absolutely be back in force. I think again, they're a team, right? Instead of players, we're having the attitude of we're not out till we're out, and we're just remembering that again. You're playing Rushmore. Their round 3 could be dance movies, festival darlings, musicals, right? In that order. And they just get railroaded. They miss all of them.
Hey, I don't know. Roka did a lot of community theater, though, so that musicals may not be bad for him.
You know what? I picked 3 random ones.
I know you did. I was just saying in Roka's defense. It's one of my favorite things I've learned on Schmoedown Twitter was
that he directed Mike.
That Roka and Kalinowski met whenever Roka directed him in a play, and I just think that's adorable.
But yeah, very great showing by Rushmore. I have a feeling we're going to get the same feeling from Danger Zone.
Almost certainly, and that's the thing. And then, again, no disrespect to anybody, but I always talk about how you have the tiers inside of tiers, right? Having not seen the match, but knowing the general level of play of the members of Press Room, they are very much top mid tier, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's really difficult to pair off top mid tier against top tier in Roka and JTE. So I don't know. I don't want to say anything bad about the Press Room, but by the same token, I don't think the power scaling was quite right with that pairing.
I don't think it would have been right wherever they put them, though. Because eventually they'd have to.
The only way you can, I think, the only way to reasonably here's the only way to make sure that they have fair opposition is to pair them off against either Deception or Danger Zone.
And are you talking about Press Room or
the Rushmore?
Okay, because this is Press Room's first match.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
one of them was is first time playing rookie, so
that's what I thought.
They started deep in the fire, and I think they're going to be fine. They're going to come back from this and be completely fine. And
I look forward to seeing how they do in the future. I just feel like that was a mismatch. I feel like
I just don't think there's anyone else on the board because in Deception you have Adam Collins and Marisol McKee, right? That's a powerhouse team. The Outsiders are, Ben Gunner and Paul Preston are, beltable players who have not been belted yet, right? Lightning Time is Ethan.
That's
Irwin.
it. That's how it should have been. They should have paired off Press Room with the Outsiders.
You think?
I think for a more fair fight, it should have been Press Room, Outsiders, Lightning Time, Rushmore. Because I feel like because at that point you have another former champ to balance out the other one with Roka and Irwin.
I guess.
Obviously JTE's been belted, but in teams, and Liz Shannon Miller's very clearly on the rise. So there's a give and take there that I think would have made that a little bit more balanced.
Who's the Danger Zone playing?
Someone who they're.
You don't.
I keep thinking. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
It's been a long fucking day.
Midterms. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, they could have bullied the midterms. Who's on mid? It's the other Harris brother.
Say it's the other Harris.
And I forget who else.
Yeah, definitely that. I
I don't remember.
It's been such. I can't pull it.
We'll find out next week.
We'll
I
find
guess.
out next week. Yeah, we're drawing a blank here. It's okay though.
I am excited to see Blackjack play though,
Hold on.
because that's Jacoby. Jacoby's coming back.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see him play again. Same with I don't know who
Zipper.
Oh, okay.
Zipper's the other one on thing. I didn't even Google it. I just had to look at the swag roster, and I was able to jog my memory.
There you go.
I
I feel like that's enough that they could have played press room, and it would have been.
Yeah, that's if more. Again, still another fair matchup.
I mean, this is another one of those brackets where you look at it because it's small enough, right? You look at it and like everyone immediately went, "Oh, okay, so it's going to be Danger Zone v Rushmore."
Yeah,
right. And that isn't necessarily the case. We could have a very big upset, right? Like Deception has Adam Collins on it. And not to discount Marisol McKee, but
Deception and Danger Zone are on the same side of the bracket, right?
Yeah.
That's a fun plot line right there. Is Adam Collins'
No.
revenge? They're not.
Never mind, they are.
That's what I thought. Like that could be that could be Collins' revenge there. You know,
Is it real revenge though?
it's the beginning of it.
I guess.
That's how it's going to be framed in the promo. That's how Nerd Chronic and
Yeah,
promos
that's
are going to
true.
frame it.
That's true.
So yeah, I
this
don't
team's
know.
Tournament's rad. It's really
It is really cool, and like it's a very good proving ground because there's a lot of like established players here. It's just that like we don't know about the chemistry for a lot of them yet because they're all like whole new teams.
yeah.
and-
Deception's the only returning team.
Yeah. But other than that, like there are other teams where it's like, oh, well, we've been around each other long enough that it's not that big of a deal. It's interesting stuff. I'm very excited. Pardon me. For the future of this tournament in the coming weeks.
Which means we just have the live event left.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
And the least talkable match of the night, McKee versus Videodrew. I had this spoiled for me right before I got here because it ended right as I got here. Close match.
very close match. They put up a Drew put up a very good fight.
And McKee goes to play Janine the Machine in June.
Yep. It was
Unless-
it was a great match. Video Drew had us pissing ourselves the entire time, as always. There were a couple zingers that really got us. There was the "you're supposed to be green" one.
Yeah, that got me good. I don't know. We'll think of some other ones later.
Yeah, it will come to us probably long after
Yeah.
we're off air. But
And then the main event, right? Damon v Mike, whatever his last name is.
yeah, that was the other one. Yeah,
We got him.
were you doing that intentionally?
Yes.
Good man.
So, but yeah, Damon v Kalinowski
Ah.
too went better than the first time, at least for Damon. And
Let us stop you right there. Okay, yeah. I'm a happy man. This is a good week. This is a good week for me. I'm feeling good this week. I'm feeling good about this month. We got lots of corruption on this month. We're coming back, baby. We're cleaning up the roster, clearing up those standings.
I don't know if they're still in last place. Are they still in last
No,
place?
they bumped Swag down to last place now.
Nice. Good for them. Proud of them.
We're out of the hole.
Very impressed with Mike. Very impressed.
Homeboy came to play. The killer indeed.
I think you are right, and also you haven't quite been proven right yet, I think. Because even in his Who Said It category, he got a lot of DCEU, MCU movies that would have been old slices, right?
Yeah.
Um,
I don't think he missed any questions in like the newer stuff though.
no, because he got a perfect round 1,
Yeah, perfect round 1,
which
he did well with that Predator question. Swashbuckling Adventure he did well with. I'm just trying to go off like the newer categories I know he answered questions in.
Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, good apes. Yeah.
So yeah, he did well in round 1.
I'm telling you, he is built for the new IG.
I am prone to believe you, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I haven't been completely proven right yet. Like he still has a belt to win to prove me right.
I think he had a very lucky who said it round 2, right? I think that's undeniable, but also it's who said it. So like you can only get so lucky.
Yeah. And again, being honest, like he did have to go to multiple choice at the Spider-Man one.
Yeah, which like I would have gotten wrong because I haven't watched Spider-Man Homecoming in a while,
and I was stunned that I got it right.
But the he did incredible.
Do you think he can do it?
I think it's going to be another really close match
because he's 1-1 with Kanopic.
Yeah. I mean, Kanopic showed last time that like she's this. I think it's like
nary any rust on that ring for her.
Yeah, I think it's odd that we've seen, right, that these old players, Kalinowski, Kanopic, I'm sure if Cushing came back, right, that even though they were so dominant in old Innergeekdom, that they are just as dominant. That like no matter how wide you cast that net, that they'll be like, yeah, of course I've seen all the Terminator
Dude,
movies.
do you have any idea?
I don't know why I keep going back to Terminator.
I don't. Listen, it would be scary shit for anybody that I like in this league, especially for these guys, if Cushing came back. Like,
but that's my point.
Like oh, but goddamn, I want it so bad.
Like Rachel Cushing would probably come back and crush it, and I think it's because I did not do that intentionally. I mean that I didn't do that intentionally.
I don't believe you, but continue.
And in the same way, I think this opens up that like because you look at those players, Mike and Rachel also did really well in singles and teams, right? I would guess that maybe not Mara doing well in singles, but like I think her net is wide enough that she's doing fun. Like she's doing fantastic.
I think Mara would be an incredible teams player if she had a good partner to help her along. I know who the fucking obvious choice is. Like
if it wasn't already on the danger zone.
Yeah, you could have the not so odd couple.
They could sit in the same room.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Come on, do IG teams. Someone draft the both of us so we could just beam in.
Yeah, just like this. Where I swear I won't look at his board. I swear. I'm
honored that you would cheat off of me.
You do way better than me now. Like I used to do pretty good at IG, and now I'm like almost singles bad again at IG.
You make it sound like I'm doing any better in IG watching along. I'm okay at that. I'm okay now. I was damn good before. Whenever whenever I auditioned and whenever I would talk about like wanting to be in, I'm like, yeah, I want to do Star Wars at IG, and made jokes about like I'd have like Spencer and Joel put me through Middle Earth boot camp. And I'm like, oh my God, like it.
No more.
I
used to joke that like, oh, I guess I'd have to watch Star Trek and Lord of the Rings finally to get into this. And now it's like, oh, I'd have to watch a lot of movies I haven't seen.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like my biggest handicap would be the fact that I haven't seen a lot of the Alien and Predator shit.
Yeah, that's true. I'd have to go.
I think that's my biggest handicap. Like that, do the Lord of the Rings boot camp, and I'd be like, I wouldn't be shark bait. I'd still be relying on like Marvel, DC, Star Wars, Batman, Spider-Man.
I'm missing like the whole swashbuckling category, man. Like I've seen Pirates of the Caribbean. I haven't seen much of the Indiana Jones stuff. Every time they ask a Mask of Zorro question, I just squirm.
I've gotten full disclosure. Okay, the reason I have gotten any of the Zorro questions right watching along is because of Patrick Willem's video essay about one of the Zorro movies, and that video came out like months ago. I don't know why I retained so much of this movie that I think I watched on TV once as a child, and it's all because of the Patrick Willem's video. Like 100%.
But I think we will see as close a match, if not closer, than we saw at the top of the season.
Yeah,
I think that, Mike proved he's built for this new IG. Mara proved she's built for this new IG. We're gonna get a title match to end all title matches here. Like it's gonna be good.
I mean, between that and Demolanta versus Damon too,
we're eating good this month.
We're eating good this month. I'm eating good. The Star Wars division is making me happy.
I can do okay in Star Wars. I'm okay in Star Wars.
I'm so excited for such a good week. It's just such a good month for Star Wars, man. I'm so happy. Because again, for those of you at home and anyone who follows Nerd Academy on Twitter, I occasionally will we have the list of matches, and I'll post the screenshot of the document I have on Twitter, and I color code the matches. So singles is red, teams is blue, IG is green, and
Star Wars is gold.
Star Wars is golden. And just like it is, with the Schmoedown colors, and I do big live events like the Collision and Free For All will be purple, just so they stand out. When I've finished the document today and I was going through highlighting, I cannot understate the dumb smile on my face at the amount of times I was using the gold. Think about it. In this month, I think we have, hold on. Let's say we get an average of 3 Star Wars matches a year. Previously.
Yeah, I mean, it would be 3 or 4.
3 or 4. Okay, let's say 4. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a month, including a title shot. That makes me so goddamn happy. Star Wars is actually competitive.
I think you can thank the Big V for that, actually. Honestly.
The what?
The virus.
Oh, I didn't know what you meant by Big V.
Yeah. I was thinking about this today, right? Star Wars has become a real division now that they don't have to fly Damon out for a title match.
I think it's more to do with the fact that
and it's just easier to schedule. It's content. You can have people playing from anywhere. So now the podcast hosts that want to play, that are interested in playing, if they're not in California, right? I mean, Jacob London, who we have both praised as belt worthy, right, is in Australia.
Other side of the fucking planet.
Yeah, there's no way he'd be playing in this league if it wasn't radioing it.
I think there's credence to that. I feel like eventually one day they had to accept that they have to do some type of virtual something to make it work, to really cast the net wider.
Well, I think,
but you also got to figure though, and this is where I'm going to push back a little bit on the virus did it.
I mean, I'm mostly joking because
I was going to say,
yeah, because again, if that didn't happen, they stayed all in. I think we get a lot more of the what we're getting now, right? Because I'm sure they had to scrap so much plot stuff they had ready for last season when everything went digital, and they just had to figure out how to make matches work again. And now they're doing the promos again and the storylines, and we have another new commissioner, and also. I love the idea that Jay is not part of the evil Grace plot. He just wants to be a good commish.
I want a hybrid. I want a hybrid of that. I want Jay is absolutely not on the side of the Angels here.
Oh yeah,
but when he was given the position, he was
likes that he's what's it called? Spiting Harlov, but also he's just I just want to make good matches.
Yeah,
for
I
everyone,
think he 100% was down for the deviousness, but he was I'm going to do this job the best goddamn way I can.
But yeah,
also,
all of this is just.
I will send you the link. I don't know if I'm allowed to do that or not with the Patreon shit. I know we talk about doing it all the time. A little entertainment for you and Lexi tomorrow when you're in State College.
Uh-huh.
Apparently this month's exhibition was Disney movies.
Yeah, it was Disney anime. It was either Disney, Pixar, or just animation. I don't remember.
I don't know. I just saw that there was a Disney something for the exhibition.
Yeah.
And I talking about Jay. Here's the lizard brain that happened.
I know exactly.
You know what the lizard brain is.
You went J, Marvel exhibition,
Motherfucker.
exhibition, Disney exhibition, swords and soundtracks.
Still my favorite Jay Washington moment. I love it. I love Jay. Please compete or manage again.
But yeah, I think like they figured it out to do the plotline stuff. I think it would have been a lot harder plotline stuff last season, and we'd be focusing more on the people they had in California, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And it would have been easier that way.
And here's where I'll push back on that. There's no way to know, and this is at this point. This is just for just for speculation's sake. It was just a normal match that they flew Laura Kelly out for at the beginning of last year. It wasn't a number one contender match. It wasn't a belt match. They weren't even highly ranked. It was like the first or second Star Wars match of the year.
But it was like 1 of 4. And they did that so that they could have 4 Star Wars matches, right? Whereas now they can have a full tournament.
Yeah, and it's absolutely way easier now. And I can't wait to see what the hybrid model for the Schmoedown looks like moving forward.
Yeah, I think that's going to be really interesting. I think that
because a lot of people have moved during the pandemic.
Yeah,
like Merle and Mara don't live in Cali anymore.
They live in Arkansas.
Yeah,
yeah. So like, I think then what you do is because like you look at a Merle, you look at Roca still is in California, but you look at a Merle, you look at a Damon, you look at these people that don't live there but will always be up for live events, right?
Yeah,
they're worth flying out.
Absolutely, yeah.
So it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna have this live event and Merle has to play. Well, yeah, we were gonna do it anyway. He's gonna be there. And I think for stuff like that, because they hold Spectacular now in a separate theater, right? They don't do it at the studio. They would be holding Collision probably at a theater live if that was the case.
I think that's the reason why we don't have a date for Collision yet. I think they're trying to see if they can pull it off live. I'm not necessarily saying they can. I'm saying I think they're giving it enough breathing space to be able to maybe do it. But
I doubt it.
Spectacular might be though.
Yeah, oh yeah. I could see that being
I think Spectacular can happen. And if it does, like hopefully it's on a night that we can watch it together. On their couch. I'm so happy we have a couch in here. Y'all don't know. I almost passed out on it like 3 times today.
It is surprisingly very comfy. I say that like it was going to be a brick, but
yeah.
But yeah,
I have too many back problems to not splurge on a comfy couch.
Congratulations to Mike the Killer Kalinowski. And now we have to like actually hate each other for a time. I mean, like we already kind of did for singles, but like it's Innergeekdom. It's real shit now.
Yeah, that's when the real rivalry comes out. Yeah. During the off season, that's what we should do. We should let like Spencer or somebody like curate an IG match for us.
Oh God, I'd do so bad. I mean, like
we could do old IG to like kill ourselves.
Okay. Does that mean I have to watch Lord of the Rings? Does that mean I have to watch Star Trek?
You think I'm going to watch either? I'm totally coasting on Marvel, DC, and Star Wars.
Can we?
Yeah, we're going to put them on the wheel, though.
Oh, of course.
Okay, I say that, but like literally while we were talking, I was like, I kind of want to revisit Lord of the Rings. Like we were recording this, that the thought crossed my mind that I kind of want to rewatch the movies.
I own the Blu-ray of all the theatrical cuts that's like on one disc.
Yeah,
it's still in the cellophane and it's sitting in a box in my room, and I bought it but like the summer before I went to college because I got in this kick of I was working overnights, and so I was like I get off my shift at 8 a.m. go into Walmart, pick up a new movie that I didn't own, and I'd watch it the next day because I'd have the next day off. So like, that's why I own the Dark Knight trilogy. That's why I own Shawshank Redemption, which I also have not watched. I own The Lord of the Rings. Haven't watched it. I've watched The Hobbits. They were okay. because I have not read the book and have no I don't care about that lore. I was like, yeah, this is fine.
Just say Joel's ears perked up all the way in eerie. He was like, "What the fuck did he
Someone just
say?"
said The Hobbit wasn't a crime against humanity.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's on
Sting
wax. We
rattled a
were
bit.
gonna do a proper IG or old IG match during the off season, and I will let you and everybody else curate like a Star Wars match for Spencer and I,
Oh God, I
like proper Star Wars Schmoedown, not
you
just
have
us
no
playing
idea.
Trivial
You do
Pursuit.
not want me touching that.
I do actually.
You know why?
Why?
What color?
I know.
I'm gonna find the most obscure shit. Oh, it's gonna be great. Okay, now I want to do this.
You're not allowed to make it all color questions, but
Damn.
it would be funny.
Colors
Yeah.
will be a slice on the wheel.
Oh my god. I've been in here for 12 hours straight and I'm getting slap happy. I'm getting studio cabin fever.
So next week, Adam Witt, Zach Burkett. Who you got?
Burkett's a rookie,
Yeah.
so it's really hard to estimate on him.
So I think the safe bet's Adam Witt.
I'm going to say Adam Witt because I want to see him get that win. I stand by what I said before, that he feels like the Star Wars division's Janine the Machine.
Yeah.
That it's like he has the capability, he has the knowledge, he has the grit. It's just the shit falls apart at the end. It's out of his control.
Deception v Blackjack. That's not a question for you. I just realized.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Blackjack only because I want to see Jacoby. I mean, obviously I want to see Janine do really well, but I'm really excited about Jacoby because I'm excited about him and Jacob London a lot after their match. I don't know why. I'm high on both of them. They're just both so good.
And my loyalties lie.
I also like Adam Collins, so I'm not doing it despite corruption.
Yeah.
I just I am excited to see Jacoby play a little more. Jacoby.
I think you're in the same boat I am here. Yeah.
You know, Danger Zone. I'm so ready for my second favorite team. They haven't even played yet. They're my second favorite.
Yeah. The same way I know that it's gonna be the same with me and Rushmore. It's just I just love Roca.
You're gonna love Rushmore. And then we don't know the undercard yet, so we can't make a prediction on that. Damon v. Demolanta. Who you got?
Okay. I'm gonna go. Okay, we're gonna we talk about Star Wars as the division. We don't talk about the lore often on this show because that's not what we cover here. But I'm gonna turn this into Knights of the Nerd Republic for a second because I want to make an analogy. In the novelization of Revenge of the Sith, the narrator says that between how powerful Darth Sidious is and the nature of Mace Windu and Vapad, his variation on the seventh form of lightsaber combat, that feeds off of the darkness of its opponent, because Vapad is an outgrowth of Juya. Juya is pretty much the dark side martial art, because it's rooted in ferociousness and aggression, and it's really hard to be a Jedi who uses Juya without that kind of messing with your head. He created Vapad as an answer to that, where it creates what the book describes, and what Windu describes as a superconducting loop of the dark side, where he's feeding off of the negativity of his opponent that allows his connection to the Force to kind of guide him through the fight. And they say that if there had not been any interruption and had Palpatine not tried to
Trick him,
MacGyver the fight so that it looks a certain way by the time Anakin enters the room, that the fight would go on forever.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I make this comparison, I am not saying that there's any amount of deception or trickery on Demolanta's side. The challenge that restarted the match during sudden death, that was Palpatine letting Windu kick him in the face.
Okay.
And that created the opportunity for Damon to run out of gas.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you there.
Remove that factor, the duel goes on forever.
Mm-hmm.
I will not be surprised if we're looking at another
50 plus points.
50 plus game.
Absolutely.
And I will not be surprised if it goes that way. And if Dimolanta is able to keep the same, like, just litigious focus on the prize, that can happen again. But what I've been saying since we started this podcast, what I said last season before we even talked about this in front of a microphone, it may be possible to beat Damon. I don't know if you can do it twice. I don't know how easily one can do it twice.
I agree. Really quick, I've got. Who's up? Damon, because you have Damon listed first. And
I was so confused because I like looked down, I saw your thumb go by, and I like glanced down at your phone. I'm like, is he about to play a song?
No.
Is he about to play a sound? Like I was like getting ready for something to be loud.
No, I just flipped the coin because it is absolutely 50-50. I think the comparison of Windu v. Palpatine is a fantastic compare. Not necessarily because one of them is batshit evil, but because like,
Or is everything that's wrong with the Jedi Order?
yeah. I think Demolanta kind of feeds off the fact that like he knows Damon. He goes into that mode, and I think this is when a player becomes their best, where they don't look at the player in front of them, and they realize that no matter what they do, nothing will happen if you don't answer questions. Right? It's what I talked about with Kaiser and Parker earlier, where Kaiser was like, "Hey, you're still getting questions right. Like he's barely hanging on right now, and he keeps misspelling shit. Eventually, that misspelling is going to become a wrong answer. You are fine. Don't focus on him. Just keep playing." And it worked out. I think that same kind of thing happens where, again, Damon had that monstrous energy going into every match of this is Alex Damon who never misses. This is Alex Damon who is going to go perfect until like the end of his round 2, and you've already missed 2 questions, and he like went to multiple choice.
And you still pick the wrong one.
Yeah. And so you get in your own head about, well, he's going to beat me. He knows more than me. He's going to beat me. He knows more than me. And you never, again, I make this joke. You never take into account the fact that your opponent might get diarrhea in the middle of the match. Right. And not that that's what Demolanta is counting on, but I think that focus of it doesn't matter what he does.
And this isn't to undercut Demolanta, because like I heard every interview he is given on backstage wherever where he's talking about like it was that focus, that eye on the prize. It is me versus these questions, not me versus Alex Damon.
And I think that's exactly how he's going to go into this match again.
Okay, but I would have a hard time, at least me. And maybe this is why this is why I'm not cut out for this. But like, you know, those who can't do commentate, but like I would have a hard time going into that. And I will be stunned. Not a sight against the Hunter. Bad motherfucker. I have a hard time imagining going into this not with not the like the cloud of I won because he had a brain fart. Right. And that's where I'm talking about this superconducting loop shit with like the vape head, whatever, is that like you can't.
I think it's the opposite. I think he goes in knowing that can happen. Right. It's the actual version of the diarrhea analogy. So like he's going into this knowing now it's even more so. I just got to focus on my questions because he can miss. Like I've seen it. And even if it wasn't like there's still a world where they don't get that challenge and they get to a different question that he just misses because they've been going for like 50 plus questions.
And I hate being the contrarian here with this conversation and just going, but. And I apologize for that. But like, that was such an easy question that he lost on.
Yeah.
the Commander Bly thing. And that's why, like, and again, like if I'm Andrew DiMolanta,
I have forgotten Luke Skywalker's name before because of how tired I've been. Like it is by
like for me, like if I'm in DiMolanta's shoes, something like a swing and a miss on something like Commander Bly. This wasn't what's the name of the Imperial officer who tells Vader about the escape pods in the beginning of A New Hope. Right. This isn't a one-off officer or anything like that. This is a character who's like prominent in the Clone Wars, prominent in books, prominent in comics. You have his action figure. Like he's a prominent clone. Right? Like Commander Bly is not in the realm of the Star Wars Schmoedown knowledge base. Bly is not a deep cut. And that is why I feel like the potential for the I only beat him on a brain fart comes into play. Is it like it's not like it's not like he wound up and swung and missed on a really hard question. He forgot the name of a really popular clone. And that's my thing. Is it like that?
So you're saying that DeMolante is going to go into this thinking he didn't really earn it, and he's still not sure that he can actually do it.
Not necessarily that. And again, maybe that's me. It's just that, like, there's a logistical issue there. And it's not that he didn't earn it, because he absolutely earned it. You don't put 50 plus points on the board.
I'm not saying that you're saying that. I'm saying that he's thinking that.
I don't think he's necessarily thinking that he didn't earn it, but just that, like,
he didn't out-trivia him.
He didn't out-trivia. He didn't necessarily out-trivia him.
Okay.
He outlasted him.
And I think that's, yeah. And I think knowing that, because you're never going to out-trivia Alex Damon. Right? Like, I think that's the reason he was able to do it, is because people kept going, I have to out-trivia him. I have to know more. When in reality, you're at a finite limit, right? Like, you can only know so much. Once you know every Imperial officer's name, there's not much more you can do, right? Like, you're gonna miss them occasionally.
And again, that's where Alex Damon becomes this almost Goku, Superman, One Punch Man style. Like, how the shit do you beat him?
You hope you
have to bank on a brain fart, right?
Yeah.
And that's what I think is scary for DeMolanta, is that you have to bank on him brain farting again. And as cool, calm, collected, and again, bad motherfuckers DeMolanta proved to be in this last match, it takes balls of steel or ovaries of steel to not have a little bit of that, like, I beat him on a brain fart.
I think we're at a force meets object.
Yeah,
here,
because it's exactly where they are. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, like, our argument about this, because I just think that's exactly what's going to make him get there. Because, like, it's the idea of the threshold theory, right? Like, once you get so far in something, adding more to it doesn't, like, if you're on an assembly line, adding more workers will not necessarily make your line go faster, right? Jumping your IQ by 20 points once you're at like 140-ish.
And we're back. Sorry about that, folks.
Yeah. Either they heard that conversation or we were just very silent for a few minutes.
Yeah, either or.
But anyway, I think that, like I was saying, you add so much to something once it hits a certain point, it doesn't actually benefit you. I think that focusing on knowing every name of every character, knowing every scene of every movie, knowing every whatever, that only goes so far. And DeMolanta knows he has the knowledge. He knows he can hang, and he knows that now the game isn't out triviaing Alex Damon because that's just not possible. The game now is outlasting him. And he knows he can do that. He also knows that it is not like a sure thing that he will do it again. And I'm not saying he's going to go into this confident that he can, like, he's going to win for sure. But I think that he knows how to approach the game in a way that does not put him down. If the tie breaks in Damon's favor first. Because, last time they played, they were tied the whole way to the end. There was never a point where one of them dropped below. So if that happens, right, and Demolanta loses that first point, he knows that he just has to keep going. I think he will. I think we're going to get just as close a match this time. And Demolanta knows his path to victory is through, like, just waiting for Alex to miss.
It's an endurance fight.
Yeah.
It's going to be something, and I'm really looking forward to it. Like, I'm excited, and I never imagined Star Wars could be this competitive. That's why I wanted it. But yeah, I think that's all we have for you guys this week. Travis, where can the lovely people find you, sir?
On Twitter and Instagram at Travis Political, and you can find me on Twitch at BlackLeader439. Actually finishing Assassin's Creed 2 this coming week.
Oh, you didn't get through it on Wednesday?
No, because you can't skip. So the way the story works out is that there's 2 sequences in the game that are DLC. And when you play through the base game, it's just like, oh, these sequences are corrupted. We have to skip over them. And then you skip to the end of the story. But the version of the game I'm playing has them built in. And so you don't have the option to skip them.
I see.
So I had to play through them. And they're not like that long, but
they were long enough to set you back.
Yeah. Like I was at like 3.5 hours streaming. And I was like, if we're here for the rest of the game, I'll be here till like 1:32 in the morning. So, yeah. So we're going to kill the Pope next week.
Feel free to clip that. Yeah.
Jarod.
Yes.
Where?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at DarkJedi2552, and you can find the Nerd Academy podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on our website, www.thenerdacademypodcast.com. Did you get it into the trash box?
I did.
Good job. I missed on the napkins. You can find the Nerd Academy podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on our website, www.thenerdacademypodcast.com, where if you're feeling generous, you can donate to our Patreon page. Speaking of our patrons, thank you to our $10 alumnus, Jason Brion, the Waffle Wizard, Delta 9, and Zach Knaus. You guys help us make the content that we love to produce. Check out the $5 tier where you get access to Nerd Academy Movie Club's audio commentaries, the Knights of the Nerd Republic Versus series, and Heroic History 101, where Travis and I will have something out there soon, I promise. Also, check out the student store link on our website to check out our TeePublic. You can get all manner of Nerd Academy merch and goodies. Like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the things. Tune back in on Monday for our interview with Frank Alvarez of The Usual Suspects. And smash cancer.